Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching my video today. Today's video is called How Often to Bathe Your Pets. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how often to bathe a dog, how often and when to bathe a cat. We're going to talk a little bit about how to bathe your pet, what shampoo you should be using. We're going to talk a little bit about flea baths, and then I'm also going to be giving you some additional resources about taking care of your pet. So I hope that you find today's video to be helpful. If you do, please go ahead and give it a like. It does help YouTubers when you do that. Now, if you have not been here before, you don't know, my name is Deborah. I own the website PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and several times a month I do videos all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats. So if you have a pet that you would like to receive continuous help with, please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and please go ahead and share the channel with your friends and family who have a cat or a dog. They might appreciate this sort of information as well. We're going to use this article called How Often to Bathe Your Pets to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this article in the description box, and I'll be giving you the links to everything that we're talking about in the video in the description box below the video. So let's go ahead and get started. Since bathing your pets isn't always easy or fun for you or for your pet, you might wonder what's actually necessary when it comes to how often to bathe your pets. Since dogs and cats generally groom themselves, it's uncommon to have to bathe your dog more than about once a month, and cats should not be bathed at all, with a few exceptions. So in this video, we're going to talk about the specifics on how often to bathe a dog and when to bathe a cat. This is a picture of my little wiener dog, Taz. If you've been here before, you've heard me talk about her. She was a little cutie. She fit right in the kitchen sink. How often should you bathe a dog? How often you bathe your dog depends on certain things. Like, for example, do you have an outside active dog who actually physically gets dirty, or do you have a little lap dog that's mostly in the house all the time? Some dogs have allergies that can be helped by bathing them more often, and dogs who are smelly, you know, if they go out in the yard and they roll in stuff. Now, this little Tazzy, I had Tazzy, and I also had another wiener dog years before her named Maggie, and I often referred to dachshund sweat. In my opinion, they would get stinky, and it was a very specific smell that I didn't smell on other dogs. So they're short-haired wiener dogs, and they just got a little bit stinky. But you know, sometimes they go out in the yard, they roll in a dead bird, you know, all this sort of thing. So obviously, if your dog smells when they come in the room, they need a bath. Okay, so you should basically be giving your dog a bath about, you know, every 4 to 6 weeks, but not on a mandated schedule. Give them a bath when they need a bath, and don't give them a bath when they don't need a bath. Okay? Make it easy on yourself and on your dog. Now, for tips on making the bath easier and more comfortable for your dog, I'm going to give you a link to my video called How to Bathe Your Dog, Tips to Make It Easier for You and the Dog. And in that video, I'm going to go over step by step the tips for bathing a dog and how to make it easier and more comfortable for your dog. I'll give you a link to that video in the description box. You can also get more information on how often to bathe your dog from PetMD.com. I'm going to give you a link to one of their articles about that. Also, you can get some tips about the general care of your dog by clicking on my video called How to Take Care of a Dog. So those are some additional resources for you that will be in the description box. Now, how often should you bathe your cat? This is my little guy, Whiskers. If you've been here before, you've heard me talk about him. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Jackson Galaxy. He is Animal Planet's cat expert. According to Jackson Galaxy, you should not bathe your cat at all. Cats naturally groom themselves, and most cats are darn good at it. There's usually no reason to bathe your cat, especially since it can be stressful for them. It can be detrimental to your relationship with your cat, and you might get your face scratched off. You know, if you ever try to put a cat in the tub, it's dangerous. You know, anything you're doing to a cat that they're not liking can be dangerous, because you know their cat scratches can be quite severe. Okay, now, so generally you should not bathe your cat. Your cat doesn't need you to put them in the tub. They groom themselves. Most cats are impeccable groomers. Now, there are a few exceptions to this. Some of the reasons why you might need to bathe your cat are if they've soiled themselves, you know, if they've pooped on themselves, if they're, you know, if they're old or they become incontinent, if they've soiled themselves, if they've rolled in something stinky, or for example, if they're sprayed by a skunk. Okay, something has happened and the cat is filthy, and it's going to take more than their grooming, you know, to clean them up. Also, hairless breeds of cat, they can need a bath as often as once a week because their skin produces excess oils. If you have a hairless cat, you probably already know these things, but definitely check with your vet on this and any other special care that your hairless cat might need if you have one. If you've just rescued the cat and it's extremely dirty, or if it's covered with fleas, now, giving a bath won't get rid of fleas. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I'm talking about if they're just physically covered with fleas or dirt. And if your cat is elderly or has a health condition such as arthritis or obesity, which makes them unable to adequately groom themselves, cleaning them with a baby wipe will usually suffice. Now, do keep in mind for a cat, if you feel like for any of these reasons you need to bathe your cat, you might want to try a baby wipe first. Make it unscented, because cats have a very strong sense of smell. So an unscented baby wipe might clean them up. Also, just a warm, wet washcloth, not a hot washcloth and no soap, just a warm, wet washcloth. You might be able to clean up whatever this is without actually putting them in the tub. Okay? We're going to talk a little bit more. Hang with me, okay? Now, how to bathe a cat. Consult your veterinarian first if you think you have reason to bathe your cat, okay? You should get your vet's advice on this. Now, if you must bathe your cat, follow these tips on how. Fill the tub first, and so that you're not putting your cat in there with the faucet running. You know, the splashing water, the sound, it's going to make it 10 times more scary for the cat. So if you're going to give them a bath in the sink or the tub, fill it up first. Make sure the water temperature is okay, and don't have the faucet running while you're trying to put them in the tub. You should place a non-skid pad on the bottom of the tub so that your cat isn't slipping around, because if they're slipping around, obviously it makes it more difficult for you, but it's also going to create fear for the cat if they don't have good footing, right? You should gently wash your cat's face and head with a washcloth, and this is true for dogs. Some of these tips are true for giving your dog a bath too, as you're going to find out when you watch my video that's going to give you these tips for a dog. But you should gently wash your cat's face and head with a washcloth. Don't dump water over the cat's head, okay? First of all, a cat can drown on very little water, for one thing. Plus, it's just extra traumatizing for them, and you can wash their little face with a washcloth. Make sure that you use a proper shampoo. I'm going to give you the links to some oatmeal-based shampoos on Amazon. Make sure that it's unscented. Again, cats have a very strong sense of smell. And don't use just your human shampoo, okay? Pets have a different pH than people. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. And also, take it slow if you have to bathe your cat. Remember that baths can be far more stressful for a cat than for a dog, okay? And again, I can't stress enough, before you give your cat a bath, make sure that it's necessary, okay? Make sure that it's necessary, and run it by your vet if you think, oh, I got to give this cat a bath. Why? Okay, chances are you don't have to, all right? Now, you can get more information from Jackson Galaxy's article. I'm going to give you a link to it about this. And then he also has a hilarious and a super informative video about bathing cats, specifically not bathing cats. I'm going to give you a link to that video. I don't like to refer people off of my YouTube channel, but I think that video is particularly informative, and it's just kind of funny to watch too. Also, I'm going to give you a link in the description box for my video, How to Take Care of a Cat, which covers, you know, several more aspects of taking care of a cat. Now, like I talked about earlier, what about flea baths? If the reason that you're giving your dog or a cat a bath is because they have fleas, please take it from me. In over 40 years of cat ownership, I have never seen a flea bath work. flea baths, those flea bombs that you put in your house, flea sprays. I have never seen them work to get rid of fleas or to keep fleas out of the house or to get rid of fleas in the house or to prevent the cat or dog from getting fleas. Instead, I suggest that you use either a flea medication that your vet subscribes, that they recommend, or get something like Advantage 2. I'm going to give you a link to this on Amazon. Now, when you, if you're buying this yourself, make sure that you're getting the right one for cat or dog, and then make sure that you're getting the right dosage, because they're based on the animal's weight. Like, for example, this one is Advantage 2 for a large cat over 9 pounds. Okay, so they're very specific. So if you go online and you buy this product, make sure that you're getting the right one. And again, you can ask your vet. I personally, now, Advantage works as far as I'm concerned. It's always worked. And the thing that has always surprised me about it is not only does it immediately get rid of the fleas on the pet, but it gets rid of the fleas in the house, and it also prevents them from ever coming back. In my experience, if my pet is treated with Advantage during the flea season, and you put it on the back of their neck once a month during the flea season, you will not have fleas, period. Okay, so that is my recommendation. Now, I am going to give you a link to my video called How to Get Rid of Fleas and Prevent Them from Happening in the First Place, which talks a little bit more about products like Advantage 2. And there was one other thing I was going to say about this flea thing. I can't remember, I'm sorry. But if the reason you're giving your cat or a dog, especially a puppy or a kitten, a flea bath, please just don't. Okay, if you have a young puppy or a kitten, talk to your vet. They will give them an appropriate flea medication, or they will tell you which one to get. But please don't do that, okay? Now, what's the best pet shampoo? Pets do have a different pH balance in their skin than people. So shampoo for humans, even if it's an all-natural or a baby shampoo, it can be too drying on your pet's skin. The best pet shampoo is one that is, number one, specifically formulated for the dog or the cat, and the oatmeal-based shampoos are always a good option. And again, I'm going to give you a link to those in the description box. And again, you can always ask your vet, and especially ask your vet if you're shampooing the pet for some sort of medical condition. Your vet should always be in on that, okay? Couple more things before we go. I donate to animal charities. If you've not been here before, you don't know, I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job, and I get a small commission, not on everything, but on some of the products and services that I recommend on my website and also on this YouTube channel, and then I donate 10% of those commissions to animal charities. And if you want to go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So I hope so much that today's video was helpful. For you cat owners, let me know in the comment box, are you surprised that you're not supposed to be bathing your cat at all? You know, I've had cats for years and years. The last cat that I had lived for 20 years. Now, I foolishly gave her a flea bath when she was young, because back then I didn't know any better, and that's one of the times I discovered that the flea bath just didn't work. When I put her on Advantage flea treatment, I never had the problem again. The cat lived for 20 years. She was an impeccable groomer. Her fur was always clean and soft, you know. So my current cat, Whiskers, he's about 9 months old. I have no reason to give him a bath. His fur is clean and soft. He does a good job of taking care of himself. So unless there's some exception, you know, the exceptions to the rule that we talked about in today's video, it just is not necessary to bathe your cat. So again, let me know in the description box if you found that surprising. And regarding dogs, again, yeah, you gotta give a dog a bath from time to time, right? But again, you don't have to do it on a specific schedule. You don't have to say, okay, every month the dog needs a bath, but just give the dog a bath when he needs one. You know, during the summertime, for example, he might need baths more often because he's out in the yard with the kids, or he's out in the park or whatever. In the wintertime, if he's just going out quick to pee and do his business and come back in, he may not need a bath so often, okay? So I really hope that today's video was helpful. Please go ahead and ask questions in the comment box if you'd like to. Again, if it was helpful, please give it a like. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and please go ahead and share the channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks again. Bye-bye.